ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਐਂਡ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਸੀਜੇ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਸ਼ੋ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਵਰੀ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੇ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਹੋਈਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਈ ਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਸ਼ੀਅਨਸ ਨਾਲ, ਬਟ ਦੈਨ ਡਿਪੈਂਡਿੰਗ ਔਨ ਦ ਵਾਟ ਇਜ਼ ਗੋਇੰਗ ਔਨ ਇਨ ਦ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ। ਸਮਟਾਈਮ ਮੈਂਟਲ ਹੈਲਥ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼, ਆਟਿਜ਼ਮ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਜਾਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਈ ਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸਮਟਾਈਮਸ ਇਵਨ entertainers come on my show, but mostly Canadian politicians. It's provincial or city politicians or federal politicians. But I always start my show with what's happening in Canada and around us. So ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਟਰੰਪ ਨੇ ਫੇਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ 50% on a lot of goods ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਟੈਰਿਫ ਲਾਤਾ ਆ, and it created another uncertainty. And Prime Minister Carney spoke to him on the phone, and so much he can do. And after talking to the provincial premiers, so they said they need to intensify the negotiations because CUSMA need to be negotiated. And the trade representative also said they toned down a little bit, that by end of the year that might be worked out somehow. ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਟੈਕਟਿਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਟਰੰਪ ਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਲਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਨੈਗੋਸ਼ੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਟੈਕਸਿਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਇਟਸ ਕਾਜ਼ ਅ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਅਨਸਰਟੇਨਟੀ। if it goes through that in 30 days and $28 billion ਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਬੋਝ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ। So it's just crazily not good for Canada, but Canada is prepared for that. That's why Prime Minister Carney already divesting from USA and going to other countries and stuff. And as premiers meeting, they talked about it. And Doug Ford is coming very strong about that. He said he's not putting the liquor back, US liquor back on the shelves. Same thing Mr. Premier EB said that. So another thing happened is, all the out of 9 premiers agreed that there will be no interstate fee or charges. That will make a lot of difference to certain provinces about the pricing of the liquor. And same thing, they have to come up with a strategy to deal with Trump and these tariffs, because it's not a very pleasant thing to do, but that's how Mr. Trump does that. And Mr. Carney is doing whatever the best possible he can do that on that. And the another good news and the sad news is Gordie Howe Bridge will be open on Friday. Finally, those negotiations are finalized. They're supposed to celebrate it together in America and Canada, but they decided after these tariffs, they said, no, we are not celebrating with Americans. So it will be on Canada side. So it will be on Friday. So that's final. So that bridge should be opened long time ago. Then Mr. Trump interfered. So finally, thank God it's opening. And it will be, the celebration will be done on a Canadian side only, and they will not participate. And I don't blame the Canadians to doing that, because you can't push it around all the time and don't do anything or say anything. And as you know, US and Iran war is still going on. It's intensified. There is a no peace deal anymore. And because of that, the Strait of Hormuz is again blocked, and the oil prices gone through the roofs. Average people, average Canadian is already have an affordability issue. Now on top of that, the gas prices are going crazy. So it's just crazy. The environment, the economic environment, people and businesses and big businesses are sitting on the fence to see what this guy will keep on doing. But anyways, so Gordie Howe Bridge will be open. That's a good news. There will be a lot of goods and services going through Canada and USA. And another good news, the FIFA World Cup finally came to an end with the final between Spain and Argentina. I think hands down Spain won it. I don't know what happened to Argentina, that Spain was all over them. Even the victory was with the 1 goal, but now they are the world champions, and rightly so. They deserve it. They played really well. But the good news is Canadians played very well as well, and we made it to the top 16. We never happened with the Canadian soccer team, so that's a good news. Another good news is Prime Minister Carney finally announced $1 billion towards the soccer, whatever it, the fields or improvement of the game. So it's a good encouragement for the sports, because I don't think we don't invest much in a Canadian sports on a federal level. So this is also good news. And talking about the FIFA celebrations, Surrey soccer fan zones and draw more than 175,000 fans during FIFA World Cup. So this is a very good news what happened in the Surrey, and I thought I couldn't find a better person to talk about it than the mayor of Surrey. So I like to welcome Her Worship Mayor of Surrey, Brenda Locke. I don't think she needs an introduction, but I briefly will tell you. So she's a Canadian politician, of course, and she was elected to the post in 2022 after defeating Doug McCallum, and she served on the city council for 2018-2022, and she born in Vancouver, raised here. She is in Surrey for a long time. I know her husband John and 2 kids. So all families living in Surrey for a long time. Surrey resident. If I go on the resume, the chair she served on, the community organizer, I think I will not have enough time for the interview. Welcome to CJ Sidhu Show.
Thank you, CJ. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And let's start with the soccer. Start with the positive, good news, and how you feel about being those fan zones created in bunch of places, including South Surrey.
Yeah, we had 3 fan zones going. We actually had 4 zones, but we had 3 going right till the end, and it was incredible. And it was incredible mostly for me to see how it brought the community together. And that is about community building, isn't it? When you see neighbors saying hi to neighbors that they may not have had a chance to before. So it was really a coming together of our very wonderful and diverse city. So I was very, very proud. Our staff are remarkable, and the fan zones, we'll miss them. They started taking them down last Thursday, the one at Center Block, and we'll miss that excitement around City Hall.
Definitely. And Brenda Locke ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ 175,000 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੈਨ ਜ਼ੋਨਸ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬਣੇ 4 ਸੀਗੇ, ਫਿਰ 3 ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਂਡ ਤੱਕ ਚੱਲੇ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ see the people coming together, and Brenda ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ they get to meet each other, and it was a good community building. Brenda ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ exercise ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, and Brenda, I think we have to do more of that than less. Like a Holland Park, there was a Fusion Festival that was attended very well.
The Fusion Festival this year was beyond our expectation. It was so much fun, and I don't know the numbers for Fusion, but it was extraordinary. And Kalwinder Billa was our closing act, and holy crow did he pack it in. It was absolutely fabulous to see. And again, these are all community building, and this, as much as I heard you at the very beginning talking about economic realities we're facing. These kind of things we do in our city for free. Everybody gets a chance to participate, and so it was great fun.
So Mayor Locke ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੁਗੈਦਰ ਲਾਣਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਲਾਸਟ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਤੇ ਹਾਲੈਂਡ ਪਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਭਾਰੀ ਤਾਦਾਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ. ਸੋ ਬ੍ਰਿੰਗ ਏ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਟੁਗੈਦਰ ਇਜ਼ very important. And Brenda Locke ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿੰਗਰ ਕੁਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਬਿੱਲਾ, his performance, ਉੱਥੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਪੈਰ ਰੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਥਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ. So people get to know each other, meet people, and build a community together. That was another very good fitting event there. So let's digress a little bit. Mayor Locke, is public city safety was a big issue for a long time, and just want to hear the the extortion and the gang and murders and stuff. What is update on that?
Yeah, so we've really seen a slowdown, and I say fingers crossed because, we have seen a real slowdown in the issues around gunfire and extortions in our city. I'm very grateful to that. We have now, as I'm sure your listeners know, we have a new acting chief, and he has Todd Matsumoto. Todd has really stepped up, and so I'm very, very pleased to be able to meet with him. But I can tell you, there's been so many things come together for us, which I think is important. First of all, I truly have to thank the Solicitor General, Nina Krieger. She really did help us a lot. She paid attention to what was going on. She heard us. And CJ, if you recall way back when this all seemed to start, it seemed like nobody was listening. We were pounding the table saying we've got a problem.
And people were thinking that nothing is happening, and people were scared. And
well, we were kind of an island. The province wasn't hearing us, the federal government, they hear us loud and clear, and I'm very, very pleased about that. And so when we came to have that joint forces operation, which Minister Krieger helped to coordinate, bringing in CBSA, the border security guys, made all the difference in the world. And I can tell you, we're not slowing down. I talked to the minister just about a week ago, and we were very clear. This pressure has to stay right where it is. We also, though, we also have to thank, though, the our federal government and the Americans. The American government, when they did their big takedown, that made a big difference. And the FBI getting involved made a massive impact.
Yes. So Mayor Locke ਦਾ ਸੀ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ এনवायरमेंट ਟੈਰਰਾਈਜ਼ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਤੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਲੌਕ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੇਵਰ ਪਾਉਂਡਿੰਗ ਦ ਟੇਬਲ ਪੀਪਲ ਉਦੋਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂਗੇ। ਸੋ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਥਿੰਕ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦੇ ਕੈਨ ਕੀਪ ਔਨ ਅਪਰੋਚਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਸਟਫ ਐਂਡ Mayor Locke want to thank Solicitor General Minister Krieger and ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੇ FBI ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ। ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਕ੍ਰੈਕ ਡਾਊਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਠੰਡਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ। ਐਂਡ ਬਟ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਕੀਪ ਐਨ ਆਈ ਐਂਡ ਮੇਕ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਦੈਟ
Absolutely. This is not a time to sit back. This is time to keep pushing forward, and we are. And so that's one of the conversations I had with Minister, and so that's exactly the plan. So one of the things that we're going to be doing, and we have announced, is a new big public safety campus that the City of Surrey is developing in Port Kells, and that will be for all public safety. That will be for police, absolutely. It will also be for our fire. This will also be for bylaws and any other emergency responders, to make sure that we're doing the state-of-the-art training and have the kind of facilities we need in our city. A really important one is drone. Drones are the new technology that is going to be used in firefighting, especially in our forested areas. It's going to be used in search and rescue, and we know there has been many times, especially with seniors and dementia patients, we've lost them. Drones can help us with that. With children getting lost, drones can help us. So we're going to be doing some very specialized operations at our new 15 acres that we have recently purchased in Port Kells. And we have also been very clear, we will be increasing all our numbers. 560 additional public safety deployment, whether that's fire, police, bylaws, and others. We will be making sure that Surrey is never going to go through what it has gone through in the last 2 years.
ਸੋ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੋਰਟ ਕੈਲਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 15 ਏਕੜ ਲਏ, ਉੱਥੇ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਐਟ ਲੀਸਟ 560 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਆਫੀਸਰਸ, ਫਾਇਰ ਫਾਈਟਰਸ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਉੱਥੇ। ਪੈਸੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਆਰਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਰੋਨਸ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਵੀਂ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਹੈ, ਵਿਦ AI and all that,
Absolutely.
and drones can go to the places that other things can go, so ਉਹਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੀਨੀਅਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਫਾਇਰਸ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਮਦਦ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ। And when we were talking about public safety and Surrey's police services and acting police chief right now, Todd, and so there was a question came. I was at the press conference. Mayor McCallum, former Mayor McCallum, Doug McCallum, was criticizing, firing of Norman Lipinski and his severance package. And can you tell us a little bit about what's happening on that file?
First of all, he is very much the former mayor, I will say that. But, the issue around former Chief Lipinski is very much one that is a human resource issue. It's not something that I get involved in. It is something that the police board is responsible for, and they are appointed by the provincial government, not by the city. We don't have say-so about that. So I would say Mr. McCallum is not just wrong, he is absolutely wrong. The other thing is, we don't know. He must know something I don't know, because I don't know that the former chief was fired. I don't know the circumstances, and quite frankly, neither does Doug McCallum. He's just fabricating a story, to be frank. It is the decision of that board, but I will tell you this. We have had in the last quarter of 2025 and the first quarter of 2026, we had the worst crime stats this city has ever seen. We had many issues that board had to look at and make their considerations based on that. So they had reasons to make the decision they made. I still don't know what that is. But we do know that we have an acting chief in Todd Matsumoto. He's doing a very good job. And I even hear from some of the members, they're feeling a lot better because of Mr. Matsumoto being there. So I'm not going to say any more than that, and I'm sure not going to make assumptions that are they're just not truthful.
So ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਨੋਰਮਨ ਲਿਪਿੰਸਕੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਾਰਮਰ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਚੀਫ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫਾਇਰਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਲੌਕ ਤੇ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਫਿੰਗਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਡ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਲੌਕ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਸ 'ਚ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਰੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਬੋਰਡ ਹੈ, ਪੁਲਿਸ ਬੋਰਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਅਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਹੈ। ਮੇਰਾ ਕੋਈ ਇਸ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ 'ਤੇ ਲੈਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਡਗ ਮਕਲਮ ਨੇ ਆਪਦੀ ਸਲੇਟ ਲਾਂਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਨਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਰਤਾ ਹੈ। just for our viewers, Brenda, how that works, like it used to be mayor used to be chair of the police board, like and how that changed, and how you with the new board and with the new police chief, how the coordination?
Yeah, so it used to be, you're right, that the mayor was the chair of the board, but the provincial government changed the Police Act probably about 2.5 years ago, and that meant that it didn't have to be the mayor, and in fact it was discouraged to be the mayor. We are fortunate in the city of Surrey. One of our council members is Rob Stutt. He's a former inspector with the RCMP. He knows policing. He knows it well, and so it made full sense that he would be that chair position. And so when we had the opportunity to make that change, the city appointed him to be on the police board. But all the other members of that board, and there were at the time 9 of them. There's now 7. All those other members are appointed by actually the province of British Columbia through what's called board resourcing. And so that's how that happens. The relationship used to be, when the RCMP were here, that the mayor chose the chief. The RCMP would come with a number of resumes, if you will, and the mayor, in fact, Doug McCallum in the day, chose Brian Edwards, who was the chief. But that is not the case anymore. The mayor there is a real separation between the city and the police department. I still, though, will tell you, I have a very good relationship with Todd Matsumoto. I had a good relationship, too, with Norm Lipinski. So if something happened, they would let me know, because obviously I need to know if something's dramatically, seriously happening in our city, so that I can be ready for whatever's about to come, or however the city responds.
Definitely, you have to work hand in hand
Yes.
to make sure people are safe. So ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਬੋਰਡ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਉਸ 'ਚ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਾਓ 7 ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੌਬ ਸਟੱਡ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਵੀ ਆ, ਪੁਲਿਸ ਆਫੀਸਰ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਵਨ ਆਫ ਦ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ। ਬਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਆ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਦੇ ਚੇਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇਗੇ। ਦੈਟਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ 2.5 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਬਟ ਸਟਿਲ ਦੇ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਟ, ਟਾਕ ਟੂ ਈਚ ਅਦਰ। ਟੌਡ ਮੈਸਮੋਟੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁਣ ਹੈਗੇ ਐਕਟਿੰਗ ਚੀਫ, ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੀਅਸ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਈ ਹੈਵ ਨਥਿੰਗ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਨੋਰਮ ਲਿਪਿੰਸਕੀ, ਐਂਡ she talked to him too, but ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਨੋਰਮ ਲਿਪਿੰਸਕੀ ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 2025 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਰੇਟ ਸੀ ਸਕਾਈ ਰੌਕਟਡ ਇਨ ਸਰੀ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਧ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। that I don't know what the board decided based on that or not. That's a different question. So Mayor Locke, when your board is picking up a new chief, will you be involved, or how that process works to decide on?
Yeah, so no, I won't have any say-so in the new chief, except to say, and I think this part is really important, the city still is the funder, and the city still does set the tone for what is policing going to be in our city. So when November 30th of every year, or 29th of every year, the police board comes to the city and says, this is what we want you to fund. And so when they do that, that's exactly what happens. And of course, this last year, we gave them every nickel they had. We funded every single position, 189 additional positions. And we'll see what the board brings to us in this coming year. I do also want to point out that you're right. It is our relationship with the police has to be strong, our relationship as a city, but also with the province. And so that's why I'm so very pleased with Nina Krieger and myself and the police board. We are very coordinated on that. We know what we have to do. I do want to also make one comment, though, CJ, because I think there's a lot of confusion about...
You were criticized for not funding enough Surrey Police Services, so that you probably try to clear that.
Totally, again, a false comment. It's not. We gave the police department over, I think it was close to $45 million additional just this year. Over the time that from 2022 till today, we have funded that police department. Their budget has gone up well over $100 million. So we have been funding them along the way, every nickel they've asked for. I also want to tell you that when we went to court, I think that's another misnomer about the information. When we went to court, it cost us less than $3 million, that whole process. We ended up getting $250 million. $250 million the province has to pay the city of Surrey, because they recognized that the cost to our residents was going to be significant, and it has been. There's no question that policing costs have gone up dramatically and will continue to. with a municipal police department.
ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਮੈਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਨਫ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਗਿਵ ਦਮ ਇਨਫ ਮਨੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਆ, ਲਾਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ $45 million ਆਲ ਟੁਗੈਦਰ ਓਵਰ 100 million ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਫਾਲਸ ਕਲੇਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਫ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ, ਕੋਰਟ 'ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮਿਸ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ $3 million ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਵਰਕ ਵੈਰੀ ਕਲੋਜ਼ਲੀ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਸੋਲਿਸਿਟਰ ਜਨਰਲ ਨੀਨਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਗਰ ਐਂਡ she said very clearly that I need to have an oversight, obviously, because I have to work together with the police department. So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਿਊ ਚੀਫ ਵੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ, ਉਹ ਸਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਅਗੇਨ is a selection process in a process or for a new chief's election, or
I don't know.
You don't.
I don't know.
So that's the police board.
That's up to the police board. They will deal with that. But again, I will tell you that Acting Chief Matsumoto is really doing a very good job.
He probably applied too for a.
I don't know. He may well.
So ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਬੋਰਡ ਨੇ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਨੇ ਨਵਾਂ ਚੀਫ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਕਟਿੰਗ ਚੀਫ ਆ always they are entitled to apply anyways. So let's move on a little bit. So this is about the police department, all the confusion ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ। ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਪਿੰਸਕੀ ਦੇ ਫਾਇਰ ਕਰਨ 'ਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਥ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਪੈਸੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਬੜਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਈ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਥੀਸ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਸ਼ੀਅਨਸ ਕਮ ਔਨ ਮਾਈ ਸ਼ੋ, ਸੋ ਪੀਪਲ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਡੀਲਿੰਗ ਵਿਦ ਮਿਸ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ। First hand information can be vetted. You can go on the website, you can confirm it, because you know that election is coming up. There will be a lot of blaming game, and it's a muddy game because there is so many candidates. That will be my next question anyways, but I was alluded that there will be a blame game and they will blame you. Obviously the sitting mayor always get the burnt of all these things. And what are your take on having too many slates? And I don't know how the ballot paper for the councillors, like,
it's going to be very challenging for people to really narrow that down. And I do want to say though, you're right, CJ. This is going to be a very unattractive election.
Very contentious.
We will not sling mud. I will not sling mud. That is way beneath what I want to do. That is not who I am. And so we're seeing, I think that's why we're seeing all the misinformation. It's kind of, there's a little bit of Trump style going on, and I don't like it very much, but politics is politics, and it can get pretty ugly, and right now it is. And I think part of that is because we're seeing people that they don't, first of all, understand local government. Some of them are brand new. And the other ones, they don't know what else they don't have a platform.
So ਮੈਂ ਮੇਅਰ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਉਹ ਭਖਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਆ, ਬਲੇਮਿੰਗ ਗੇਮ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਯੈਸ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਅ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਮਿਸ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ, ਬਲੇਮਿੰਗ ਗੇਮ ਹੋਣਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਿਟਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਅਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਿਸ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੀਅਲ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, there is a city's websites, she is very approachable anyways, and you can ask question. We ask a question, we are not afraid to ask a question, because ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੈਂਪ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਡੱਗ ਮਕਲਮ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਲਿੰਡਾ ਐਨਸ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, then all the other candidates, we talk to every one of them. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਫਿਲਟਰ ਆਊਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਐਂਡ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੈਰੀ ਰਾਈਟਲੀ ਸੋ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੈਲਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ ਨਾ, ਬੜਾ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਵੀ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਫਰਜ਼ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਵੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਮਿਸ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸਹੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ। ਰਿਊਮਰ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ 'ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ whatever we elect to be a next mayor of Surrey, it's a very daunting task that you see day in and day out, and we want to make the person who is really qualified to run the city should be elected.
Yeah, and you know, I just do, I have to say, CJ, we have a great city. We are the land of opportunity. And so all this negativism is not helpful. We are building a city in Surrey. And so it's unfortunate to see the kind of mudslinging, but we're not going there because we have a great city and we have to build it for our residents, 740,000 residents. So for me, it's just about how do we move
we're
this
touching
forward.
almost a million soon.
100%. Like Surrey is the place to be. And you know what? People recognize that. Not just us. People outside of Surrey recognizes that, and they're starting to come to us and say, we want to do business here. We're very aggressive. Our people are aggressive. We're aggressive at City Hall too. And can we do better? You bet we can, and we will. But, you know, all this other stuff is noise. We need to build a city for everybody. We need to create jobs. We need to see things like our arena happening. We need to see more sports complexes for our youth. We need to see arts opportunities for people. We have so much opportunity in front of us, and we need to build that. And we are, and we will.
So Brenda ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ great city ਹੈ Surrey, and the people are interested, they want to come, they want to start a business, families there, and ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਸ land of opportunity ਹੈਗੇ। ਬਾਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ mud slinging ਹੈ ਉਸ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਕਈ ਲੋਕੀ ਟਰੰਪ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ criticism ਹੈਗਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ I don't like that and I'm not want to be a part of that। ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ we want to do a business, people want to do a business with Surrey, and ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਜੌਬ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ, ਅਰੀਨਾ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਕੰਪਲੈਕਸਿਸ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਫੋਕਸ ਕਰਨਾ। ਸੋ ਕਮਿੰਗ ਬੈਕ ਟੂ ਦੈਟ your announcement about a 10,000 seat arena in Surrey city centre. You know, I was very recently, that's why it's fresh in my mind, Doug McCallum said spending money on that rather than, you know, Bear Creek, we already have a facility there that can be improved and change it to a larger capacity rather than spending money on the new one. What is your take on that?
Well, I would say that Bear Creek Stadium right now is in a park. It's in a park that is really cherished by our residents, and there is no way that we would want to see an arena there, a 10,000 seat arena there. We don't have the parking facilities. We don't have any of that ability there. It's the wrong place. It is just the wrong place. And I can tell you, the stadium that's there is going to be great for some outdoor events, but it is truly a sport event. The one that we're building, the 10,000 seat Arena and Cultural Center, is going to be where we're going to see cultural events like music and all kinds of things. We're going to see, it could be things like Disney on Ice. I don't know. The world is open to all kinds of new and wonderful things. In fact, for those people who know who Michael Bublé is, he's already sent us a text saying, I want to be the first concert in the new arena. So that's very, very exciting for us.
He's a Canadian icon.
He absolutely is. And, what a great opportunity for us to really showcase not only our stadium, but our whole city. So, and you know, the location, that location is what they would call center ice for the city. It's the absolute most iconic place in all of Surrey, where we have BRT that's going to go straight down to all the way to White Rock. We're going to have, of course, SkyTrain that's going to come in from the Fraser Valley. It's going to come in from Vancouver and Burnaby and just about everywhere. So it's really a major, major center space for everybody. And so very excited about that.
So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ 10,000 square feet ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਰੀਨਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ with ਸੀਟ ਸੌਰੀ 10,000 ਸੀਟ ਅਰੀਨਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਰੀ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਏਰੀਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਐਕਸੈਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਟਰਾਂਸਲਿਟ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕਾਈ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਵੀ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਬਾਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਦੇਰ ਵੈਰੀ ਐਕਸਾਈਟਿੰਗ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਲਚਰਲ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੇਅਰ ਕ੍ਰੀਕ ਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਪੀਪਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਿਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਇਸ ਆਊਟਡੋਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਪਾਰਕ ਸੋ ਆਊਟਡੋਰ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਸੋ ਦੇ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਇਨਫ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਪੀਪਲ ਐਂਡ ਬਿਗ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਡਿਜ਼ਨੀ ਔਨ ਆਈਸ ਹੂ ਨੋਜ਼ a person like Michael Bublé already told her that he loved to perform there. So that's these kind of things. You know, in a bigger cities, we have to have that kind of environment. We are already creating what a lot happening in Holland Park or doing these, you know, FIFA events. And, you know, that's where the excitement happens.
We're a world-class city. We're a world-class city. And, you know, our residents don't want to travel to Vancouver. I don't want to travel to Vancouver, I'm sure you don't. And they really want to see all those things right here in the city of Surrey. And we know, I mean, getting back to our fan zones, 175,000 people, that just shows you how many people are interested to go to events. People want to go to events in our city. So I think this is going to be really wonderful for Surrey. It's going to set us apart, and we're going to see it very, very well utilized.
ਸੋ ਮੇਰਾ ਲੋਕ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਲੋਕੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੈਨਕੂਵਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਹੈ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਐਂਡ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਯੂ ਜਸਟ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਯੂ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਇਨ ਦ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਗ੍ਰਿਡ ਲੋਕ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਨੋ ਹਾਊ ਮੈਨੀ ਆਵਰਸ ਸੋ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜੇ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਬਾਈ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੀਪਲ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਬਾਈ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਸੋ another one of your media releases as well and you know the properties you know unpermitted you know construction and development there is a lot happening people like this one 3 properties is singled out there and I'm hearing all there and you're putting stop to that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, you know, this is again about public safety too, because we know that one of the ones that we put notice on title for actually had 6 apartments inside of one house. No permitting. We don't know what the electrical is like. We don't know what the water is like. We don't know how any of those systems are in that building. And certainly, can you imagine the impact on the neighborhood? So right next door to you, on a regular standard 7,000 square foot lot, you're going to put basically an apartment block. So we have to really...
Yes, sorry to interrupt you, Brenda. Didn't the bylaw officers able to catch it early on when the development?
They did. They went to them several times. Some of these started back as long ago as 2022 and later. And so people were told, you get a red tag on your house or a yellow tag on your house, please talk to the city. You can't, oh yes, we'll stop the build, but they didn't. They didn't. So it comes to that. It comes to that point where finally we just say enough. We're putting notice on title on your property, which is really significant because that means your banker may have a challenge with you. You will have a difficult time getting a mortgage. You will have a difficult time. You may have a difficult time getting insurance. But we have to do that because we've seen so many times where there's been fires in neighborhoods. The fires jump. And there's no ability to have insurance on that.
Again, a safety issue.
It's a very
and
much...
not having insurance. I'm an insurance guy, so I...
Well, there you go. You can only guess. Like if you see a notice on title on a house, that means that person has not had the proper structural oversight to be able to do that.
Yeah. So city ne hun 3 ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਰਟੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਇਸ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਨਾਓ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ a mayor told me that one built 6 apartments in a 7,000 square feet lot ਐਂਡ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾ ਬਾਈ ਲਾ ਆਫੀਸਰਸ ਨੇ, ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਸਟਾਪ ਵਰਕ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੈਗ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ, ਯੈਲੋ ਟੈਗ, ਰੈਡ ਟੈਗ. ਇਟਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਯੂ ਰਿਮੈਂਬਰ ਫਰੋਮ ਸੌਕਰ when you put a red dog, you are out of the game.
Yeah.
So having said that, on a lighter note, but what is city going to do? But like now they are red flagged,
Yeah.
they are on a notice. They might have a problem. Mayor ने कहा mortgage ਲੈਣ ਲਈ insurance ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ clear title ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ property ਜੇ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ, ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ safety issue ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ. So there are multiple, like you talk about, mortgage. Bank will want to see a clear title.
Yeah.
And then the insurance, and then, the safety issue for people who are living there. So what are your next steps? Is city going to order to tear them down, or?
Well, the city can't order to tear them down. They have to go to court to do that, and we have done that. But that is a long process, let me tell you, and it is an expensive one. This is something that we can do and do quickly. It also, as we're doing it, we're also saying to those people, try and rectify your situation. So when you see houses that are stop work orders on them, we are also saying to them, we need you to get this building into compliance, this residence into compliance. And so that's part of that process too. Honestly though, CJ, some of those will not get into compliance without significant...
That's my next question.
Yeah.
You said ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ rectify ਕਰਨਗੇ compliance ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ, but compliance in a 7,000 square feet, 6 apartments and the other dwellings already there, how they can be compliant?
They will have to become compliant, they would have to take out most of those units. And there's no question about that, because that's just not allowed. But I also want to just also comment, those neighbors their neighbors in a single family residential area are dealing with extraordinary parking issues, because people, extraordinary when it's garbage day, I can only imagine. There's all kinds of pressure on that entire neighborhood. It's not fair. So there is also that consideration of fairness to the neighbors.
You're getting calls like left and right from the neighborhood.
Yes.
That's the case.
Yes, absolutely. And that's how we find out in most cases. It's because neighbors are complaining and saying, somebody's brought a backhoe in through our backyard. Mm-hmm. And it's very significant. So we're the ones that we're dealing with the stop work, if that's one thing, but the ones that go to what they call a Section 57, which is putting notice on title, those ones are very, very egregious. Those are very, very challenging to a neighborhood and challenging to the city.
So Mayor Locke ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਰੈਕਟੀਫਾਈ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਪਲਾਇੰਸ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈ, ਕੰਪਲਾਇੰਸ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਦੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਰੂਲਸ ਆ ਉਹ ਫਾਲੋ ਕਰਨੇ ਪੈਣੇ. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇਬਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਦੁਖੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਤਾਂ ਪੈਰ ਰੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਥਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ. So that causes another problem, that neighbors call the city hall. That's how they get a red flagged. And there is a lot of other properties in that kind of situation, or you're aware of anything else? Like these are the only 3 properties. We're a big city, so.
Oh, we have done several. I can't tell you. I'm thinking we're close to have had 20 hearings over the last year and a half or 2 years. But we do many of them. We had a barn we had to put notice on title on that had a bunch of suites in it. We've done many of them. But they take time. They take time because we have to have a full legal team. Our bylaws have to work with legal. We have to have a full process. Then we, council, has to have an open public hearing to hear from the complainant. It's not just
easy process.
It takes time for every single one. It takes a full afternoon to do 3. For sure, it takes time.
Yeah. So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਰਟੀ ਹੈਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਆ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੈਂਥੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਹੈ. ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਦੇਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਦੇ ਕੰਪਲਾਇੰਟ ਔਰ ਨਾਟ ਕੰਪਲਾਇੰਟ ਸੋ ਲੰਬੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਵੀਰ pretty much coming to the last part of our interview is very close to the South Asian communities ash scattering site kyunki before people go to India to scatter the site but now there is a 3-4 generations of South Asian Canadians living here. Yeah. What is the update on that?
Yeah, so we had hoped we would have been well on the route for the ash scattering, and we actually are. We have one issue that we have to overcome, and that is with one of the issues. To be frank, it's with First Nations approval.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what we're waiting for. And we have got all Port Authority, everything is all ready to go. Our plan is ready to go. We have budgeted significant dollars for this. It's going to be a very appropriate and it's going to be a positive place where people can go with parking, with washrooms. We want to develop it as a memorial place that people will feel some kind of peace when they go there. And so the city has really chosen a place and is ready to do all that work. Unfortunately,
where is the place?
It's right where the old Patella Bridge. We have a park that we're rebuilding there, and there will be a pier. It will all be accessible so that people with mobility issues can go onto the pier. There will be again, it's a safety issue. We want to make sure people are going there are going to be safe and that they're going to have their time depositing their loved ones' ashes. And I agree with you, this is very much the South Asian community, but I can tell you, CJ, I am looking forward to it too. I want to put my dad's ashes there because he was a fisherman on the Fraser River. I think he would feel very good to be put at the Fraser. That was his place too. So I think it's something for every community, although I do know the South Asian community will use it a lot, but there will be others as well.
ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਐਸ਼ਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਂਡ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਅਫੋਰਡੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਵੀ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਵੱਧ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਆ ਪਟਾਲੋ ਬ੍ਰਿਜ ਦੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਰਮਿਟਿੰਗ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਲਿਵ ਇਨ ਲਾਅ ਅਬਾਈਡਿੰਗ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਸੋ ਫਸਟ ਨੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਪਰੂਵਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਧਰੋਂ ਜੇ ਪੋਰਟ ਅਥਾਰਟੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਪਰਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ they budgeted the money. I don't know how much. Do you know the number?
I think it's just under 3 million.
3 million. So, ਫਿਰ parking ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਵੀ issue ਦੇਖਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ and then they have to be safe because ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ pier ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ and it's a pretty touching when you say that ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I want to put my dad's ashes there because fisherman ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ Fraser River ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ so he said I will do that too. So, it's close to not one community, but a lot of other communities.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want it to be a memorial place. We want the place to be, and that's why we budgeted the money. It's going to be a park that everybody will feel comfort in when they deposit their
Any just quick, a couple of minutes, we will wrap it up. Newton's future, because this is a big part. A lot of South Asian community in a large numbers live there. Any plans for beautification or improvements there?
Yeah, Newton is absolutely the center of Surrey, and when we first were elected, the thing we said we would start a Focus Newton campaign, we did. We have a lot of learnings from that. We're looking forward. In fact, we're going to be breaking ground for the new community center that's going to be right on 72nd and King George area. That's very exciting, $310 million, the largest capital project we've ever done in the city of Surrey. I'm very, very, very proud of that, and I know people will love the new big community center. that is going to include a library, by the way. It will be the Olympic swimming pool, library, gyms. It's going to be fabulous. Yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity. We're doing 72nd, as everybody knows. It's going to go straight through, first to 176, the first phase, and then on to 196. So we're excited about that. BRT, Bus Rapid Transit, is coming down King George from City Centre all the way through to Newton and beyond, but it will be very much focused on getting to 64th. That's our real focused goal area. We're really very focused on the roads in Newton. As you know, 80th was a bit of a challenge. Hopefully that's going to be completed this summer, finishing that off, but we've double laned 132 to 72nd, and we're constantly looking at different ways to improve the roads, because moving people in this city is a big challenge. But people in, I was just at Newton Rec Center with a big announcement with the federal government. MP Sukh Dhaliwal was there, and they gave us a bunch of money to improve Newton Recreation facility there. There's going to be 2 more soccer pitches and a big improvement to the tennis facility there, as well as Unwin Park. We're doing a lot of work at Unwin, which is going to be a new big sports box. It's where kids can play ball hockey and all those kind of things. Things to make kids be active and stay active is super important to us. And I think the important thing that I always am conscious of is Newton is the biggest town center in Surrey. It's over 160, 170,000 people, which is about the size of Coquitlam.
Yeah,
so when you think about it in those terms, it's a big community, and so we really want to make sure that Newton is getting its fair share and the attention it deserves.
Yeah. So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਨਿਊਟਨ ਦੇ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਭਾਰੀ ਤਾਦਾਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ it's a big, kind of a breaking news that rec center ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ 72 ਤੇ ਕਿੰਗ ਜੋਰਜ ਬੁਲਾਵਰਡ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਅਬਾਊਟ I think $310 million ਲਿਖੇ ਆ ਉਸ ਕੰਮ ਲਈ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਇਬ੍ਰੇਰੀ ਬਣਨੀ ਹੈ, ਸਵਿਮਿੰਗ ਪੂਲ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ, ਸੌਕਰ ਪਿਚਿਸ ਬਣਨੀਆਂ ਆ। ਸੋ there is a lot going to happen। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਨਾਊਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਸੀ ਸੁਖ ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ ਨਾਲ, ਮੈਂਬਰ ਆਫ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ, ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਨੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਰੈਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਲਈ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਗੁੱਡ ਨਿਊਜ਼। ਸੋ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਮੇਰੇ Locke, first of all, thank you very much for coming on my show.
Thanks.
Greatly appreciate that. Your final comments.
My final comments is really about what a great city we live in. Every day people ask me, what is your vision for the city of Surrey? How did you come up with it? And I go, it's not my vision. This is your vision. This is the city of Surrey's vision. I talk to residents every single day, and the energy in this city is just palpable. People want to see their city grow and be a great city. And I always say this to especially people that don't know Surrey very well. The world needs a lot more Surrey. We get along. We have a city where diversity is truly our strength. It's a place where people come together. We saw that with the FIFA fan zones. We see it every time, whether it's Canada Day or the tree lighting or all of the festivals that we have. Our city is very much one city. And so I feel positive. The future is ours. As I said before, we have a city that is the city of the future. I think it will be the next metropolitan city in Canada that people will be looking to. I would say that Calgary was probably the last big city that was sort of set in Canada, but I think we are the future. If you look at it from an economic development perspective, all of the major rail yards are here. We have the largest rail yards in Western Canada. We have the largest 2 border crossings. even though Mr. Trump isn't our pal right now, that things will change. We also, Fraser docks are massive, and they are part of the Port of Vancouver's trading issue, and and our trucking industry like no other in this province is right here in the city of Surrey. And so we have a lot to be proud of, and it's all about building. We are building a really amazing city.
Thank you very much once again coming on my show. It was a very pleasure talking about a lot of issues. It's not a pleasant issues always. So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ end 'ਚ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਆ final comment ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, there's a lot of energy. That's one of the best cities. City is growing. We have rail yards. We have, border crossing, when we go to US, so that go through Surrey. Then we have a dock, Fraser docks. So there's a lot. It's a big city, growing city. After Calgary, they said the next is a city of Surrey is growing. She's very excited about it. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਡੇ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਟਰੀ ਲਾਈਟਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਆਉਣ, FIFA ਇਵੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਹਟੇ ਹੈ, ਸੋ ਇਟ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਦ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਬਿਗ ਮੈਟਰੋਪੋਲੀਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ। ਸੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਮੇਅਰ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਲੌਕ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ। ਕਾਫੀ ਵਿਸ਼ਿਆਂ 'ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਕਈ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਲੈਰੀਫਾਈ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਫਰਮ ਸਰੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼, ਫਰਮ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ, ਫਰਮ ਨੌਰਥ ਲਿਪਿੰਸਕੀ। She not clearly is firing, or he took a package, or that's not clear yet, but they said that's not mayor's job, that's the police board's job. So ਕਾਫੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਰਦੇ। ਇਸੇ ਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਰੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ CJ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਸ਼ੋ ਐਵਰੀ ਥਰਸਡੇ from 7 to 8 o'clock। ਆਪਦੀ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਰੱਬ ਰਾਖਾ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।